Hi, everyone. How is everything going? How are you learning the skull and the facial muscles and all that stuff? Now we're going to move on to the axial and the appendicular skeleton. So we're going to finish up. Well, we're going to not finish up. Well, actually, we are. We're going to finish up the skeletal system. By axial means trunk sort of stuff. So we'll look at the vertebra, look at the rib cage, and all of the stuff that's attached to it. And then we go into the appendicular skeleton, and there we're going to look at the arms and the lower extremities, the legs. And we look at some landmarks in those bones that we study. And the landmarks, very often, I try to pick the landmarks that sort of the muscles attached to. And so when we get to those muscles, we know where they attach to. We have, in those chapters, we have lectures with pictures and a little bit descriptions, and then we have questions. We have here questions. We have we also do joints, not just the bones, just also the joints here. So we talk about the differences. You know, the skull bones. There's different skull bones, as you learn, and they have joints. They are like sutures. They're like this. They're like teeth together. So they're very, very close and joined together. So they're different joints than the freely movable finger joints that we can move around. So there's a few terminology things around that. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time on that. But then mostly we'll talk about the axial skeleton. And here we have these questions for both of these lectures. And then afterwards, as it comes to all the anatomy terms, we have labeling and we have coloring exercises that we're going to talk about the parts of the bones that are most important. I want you to color them. I want you to label them. And some of them have some questions with it. Make sure you also answer the questions so we can give you credit for those as well. And as in the skull as well, and the facial muscles, most important in those assignments, you see these term lists here. So here are the axial skeletal terms. So you're going to go down and you're gonna label all the terms on either the handout, or there should be an annotation thing. Where the heck did the annotation thing go? Here is the annotation thing. Let's see. Oh, it says back gateway. Oh boy. I have to double check on that again. Oh, not my day today here. Ooh, hold on real quick. Sorry about that. Nope. See, I'm as lost as some of you sometimes. There we go. So now you can see here. So the axial skeletal shows up here, and you can actually answer that into here. You have some questions here, but then here you got the pictures, and I want you to label all the terms that you see on the list. Where's the list? Here's the list. On this list, on here, on these pictures. And then you also color the area. So like his is the spinous process. You color this piece and you say spinous process here. And then you answer all these questions as well. And then that gets you the full credit. So that's what we're going to do with this part. So all the anatomy have this stuff with it, labeling, coloring. And then here we also have the home ergonomic exercise. So we have a health kit integration exercise here. And what we want to do with this one here is we want to have a link here to a handout. And that handout looks at our workstation. Now, I'm not going to say my workstation is any good, but when the COVID happened, we just started all sitting around and being on Zoom. And so what I did is for Merit, my school that I teach in, I did an ergonomic handout, and I created this here, and I gave you this also. And what I want you to do is I want you to read through this handout, and I want you to evaluate your workstation and just sort of get yourself some ideas you see how it, like, first it talks about the anatomy, then it talks about the different parts about the workstation, how it should be set up, and then it gives you some ideas of how to help with a pillow behind the back, with an inclined seat, so you sit straighter. How does it look like that as a visual, the sitting straight kind of thing, and then some exercises that help you with strengthening muscles that are weakened because of the sitting, or stretching some that are shortened because we're sitting all the time. And so that's what this handout kind of is all about. And then after you work through this handout, I want to make sure you answer these questions here about your own workstation. So you evaluate your own workstation. Ideally, you take a picture of it and you look from the side and you look from the, how is it? Is your elbow elevated? Is your head straight? Is your monitor eye level, or is it down? What's going on with that? And answer all these questions here. And that should hopefully integrate, sort of as an idea, integrate the postural, the skeletal system as a passive sort of movement apparatus system of how are you in gravity. And because the more aligned you are in gravity, the less stressful it is for your muscles to hold you upright, and the less tiring it is. So the more time you have to study. Ooh. Anyway, so that's what that is about here. That's the ergonomic evaluation. And then we also finish up our lifestyle discussion. We finish up our lifestyle. So we finish up our exercising, our meditating, our drinking water. So we have a little exercise around that. And we have a little upload of a scorecard around that, because I want you to go through the assessment again. So if you do assess yourself again in all the 7 things we talked about, the posture, the food, the stress, and all the other ones, and then you compare yourself to the first time you did it and see what did you learn from that. So that's what that habit integration scorecard upload is all about here. All right. And we, of course, finish up with the questions and tips. So let us know how things are going, and hopefully everything is going pretty okay. And if not, also shoot me a pronto, and I can be here and try to help you through the course as well that way. All right. Have a wonderful week, and I hope everything is well. Take care. Bye-bye.